Are you trying to kill me? Adios, Leon.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at 20 secrets, Easter eggs, references, cheats, and more in Resident Evil games.
Great.
Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Signing off. With there being just as many Resident Evil spin-offs just as there are main games, it is totally understandable for some characters to be forgotten by most of the fanbase. For example, many may not remember Alyssa Ashcroft as she only appeared in Resident Evil Outbreak and Outbreak File Number 2. The journalist hasn't had much of a role in the story since then, however, RE7 shows that Capcom hasn't forgotten the famed reporter's place in the franchise. One document you can find is titled Over 20 Missing, where Alyssa writes about the increase in missing person cases occurring in Louisiana.
I'll escape this damn town alive and spread the truth about what happened.
Fit for a king. The throne room is one of the more famous goofy moments in Resident Evil 4, but you kind of have to go out of your way to appreciate this small cutscene. Yes, you can sit on Salazar's throne and soak in a few moments of looking like a real badass. Of course, there are more pressing matters to attend to, like, saving the president's daughter from a deranged cult leader, but hey, at least these few moments of resting did get you a shiny trophy or achievement.
Thanks. That should keep me company, 'cause boredom kills me.
Tell me who's watching. As much as we love the original games, especially RE2, the fixed camera angle is the only thing that keeps us from wanting to replay them. There were plenty of times where we just wanted to turn around and shoot at the screen. If you tried doing this yourself, you found yourself a funny little gag you could do whenever you wanted to waste some bullets in a fit of rage. Sad that no other RE games after this would include this, but shooting the camera is kind of hard to do when your character can't always look at it. Traitor!
Hey, are you trying to kill me? What the hell are you doing?
Okay, we love Louis. Who doesn't? Yeah, he can be annoying in the middle of a fight sometimes and get in the way too much, but he's no Sheva. For some, this was simply intolerable. If you ever decided to take your rage out on Louis and start shooting him, you got to witness a little cutscene where Leon meets his end way sooner than expected.
Adios, Leon.
Sadly, this was taken out of the 2023 remake, and Louis is now a god, able to withstand every weapon in your arsenal.
What the hell are you doing?
The Louisiana Secret. If you were one of those players who didn't scour every corner of the map, chances are you missed this special Easter egg that provides a connection between the Baker's residence, the village, and the Mega Mycete. In one of the very last areas of Village, there is a cave hidden near the pond with the golden fish. Go inside, and you'll find a laptop as well as the heart of the Mega Mycete. On the other side is a coin from Dulvey, Louisiana, and a computer containing some sweet, sweet lore. Comedy Gold.
You are nothing, if not unyielding, Mr. Kennedy.
One of the best parts about the original RE4 is how Leon constantly dunks on Salazar in the dumbest ways, even when it doesn't make sense. Seriously, we will never forget how he says "no thanks, bro" in the most sophisticated tone.
No thanks, bro.
Many were upset that this line was not repeated in the remake, but it was referenced another way. Simply defeat Salazar and you shall earn a trophy or achievement called No Thanks Bro. Toss a grenade into his mouth and you'll get a trophy or achievement called You Talk Too Much. R.I.P. Zombie Slayers. RE5 holds a couple of references to Capcom's other more comedic horror series, Dead Rising. One newspaper you can find in one of the campaigns is a copy of the Willamette Park Journal, which is the same paper Frank West works for. But what strikes our curiosity more is that there is a list in RE5 of deceased people in a document.
Where's the rest of the team? Shit!
2 names are written on there, Frank E. and Isabella C. We know that Frank's last name is West and Isabella's is Keys, but there's a good chance Capcom was just being cheeky here. Maybe Frank East was Frank West's BFF or something.
Umbrella.
What?
A perfect way to pass the time. Okay, this one may not be as interesting as the other entries, but it was just a really amusing detail in RE4's remake that Capcom didn't need to put in. Sometimes, as you are browsing his wares, the merchant will make remarks about what you're looking at or say something about your health. Other times, he will hum a little tune to himself. The tune is unrecognizable, but to think the merchant is humming little ditties while infected murderous villagers are running around is just way too funny. King would be proud. For the most part, Resident Evil will make references mainly to other Capcom games like Mega Man and Street Fighter. However, we were able to spot a rare movie reference back in the original version of RE2. In one of the hallways of Raccoon City Police Department, you'll find red lettering on the wall that reads, Red Rum. This is a clear reference to the classic Stephen King novel, The Shining, which features the character Danny holding up his finger and saying, Red Rum! Red Rum!
Red rum!
Danny, what's the matter, hon?
Red rum!
You having a bad dream?
For some reason, the remake for RE2 did not make the same reference. Aye aye, Skipper. One of the strangest yet fun aspects of RE4 is finding out all the different methods to skip specific sections of the game. Indeed, you can find all sorts of crazy methods to completely bypass tough fights. For instance, you can shoot the bell during the mob fight in Chapter 1 to end it immediately. You can end the fight against the Chainsaw Sisters just as quickly as it starts by simply attaching mines to a light bulb.
Sorry, didn't realize that was yours.
One of our favorites, though, is tossing a grenade near the lever for the goat head to kill the enemy that triggers an ambush. So much cheese that it'd make Leon constipated, and that's only scratching the surface. There are plenty more for you to find. Growing up is optional. Resident Evil 6. Whether you're in Raccoon City, Western Europe, or Louisiana, Resident Evil is a world filled with viscera and grit. However, the series isn't afraid to get a bit goofy, and how could it not with some of the campy dialogue? One example of this lies within Resident Evil 6. During your various campaigns, you may come across a level that hides a playground. Yes, you can walk around this area, and yes, you can totally ride the panda and go down the slide. Enjoy this brief moment of innocence while the zombie apocalyptic world burns all around you. Dino Crisis in theaters Friday. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. The third mainline Resident Evil game features a wide buffet of references and Easter eggs to not just the series itself, but also other Capcom games. Many of these nods you'll most likely find throughout your time on the surface of Raccoon City. One of these is a movie poster for a certain dinosaur-themed game we've been craving to see come back for some time now. Yep, That would be a Dino Crisis poster in the hospital lobby. And by God, if this isn't a tease for the franchise's comeback, we don't know what else is gonna get us to hype ourselves up again. Come on, Capcom. You gave Mega Man a nod in Comeback 2. It's time for Dino Crisis now. Zombie Friends, Resident Evil, and Resident Evil 2.
What are you doing here?
Don't shoot! I'm a human!
Though this isn't a common feature, the first Resident Evil as well as RE2 have one cool detail that can be experienced under specific circumstances. It is possible to encounter zombified versions of Albert Wesker in RE1 and Brad in RE2. In the Sega Saturn version of RE1, all you have to do is access the battle game side mode and get far enough to encounter zombie Wesker, who takes 4 magnum bullets worth of damage to down. As for zombie Brad in RE2, get to the RCPD without picking up any weapons or items while under scenario A on normal difficulty. He also takes quite a bit of damage before dying, but if you manage to beat him, you'll receive a key that unlocks a new costume. Resident Street Fighter, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 7. Yeah, some of the Capcom references can be painfully obvious, but they're still pleasant to spot when playing. Along with Dino Crisis and Mega Man, Street Fighter has made its way into Resident Evil on a couple of occasions. In RE7, you can find a book called Fighting Street in a few different spots. You can also find this same book in RE3 as well. Another cool nod to the fighting franchise is in RE2, while you're running through the city. One of the bigger buildings is named Aruka's, which is a reference to Street Fighter's local butt-kicking schoolgirl, Sakura. Someone's making these. Resident Evil 7. It isn't uncommon for folks to get a tad frustrated with Resident Evil's more obtuse puzzles, and RE7 protagonist Ethan Winters is in that group of people. Sure, finding items and remembering where inaccessible areas are located can be tedious, but item manipulation can be annoying too. Ethan shares the resentment with players while solving one of RE7's shadow puzzles. After solving one of them, he'll ask who is even making these stupid things. Well, one note can be found in the attic that reveals who really is making these, and it's the same company behind Spencer Mansion's secret corridors. Damn you, Trevor and Chamberlain Construction!
Who builds this shit?
Shut up, he's fishing! Resident Evil 4. Some of the coolest moments in gaming come when players discover ways to off bosses before their initial encounters. This is one of those moments. Just before you venture out into the lake to face the monstrous Del Lago, do yourself a favor and shoot the water a few times. Use whatever you feel like, a magnum, shotgun, pistol even, go right ahead. Ha! I lied! Del Lago jumps from the water and eats you whole. Nah, man, you gotta put on your big boy pants and face this monstrous fish head on. There aren't any shortcuts here. You're Brody, he's Jaws. Come back with the head, tail, the whole damn thing. Merchants Talk, Resident Evil Village.
Welcome.
Speaking of RE4, Village shows the 2005 hit a ton of love through various references and nods. Of them all, there's one that has hit fans the hardest. In a good way, of course. Whenever you're browsing the Duke's wares, he'll make some light commentary on your purchases or say something completely unprovoked. One of these lines is a direct shout out to RE4's shady-looking merchant character.
What are you buying?
It makes you wonder if the Duke and Merchant have some sort of hidden agenda between Resident Evil's heroes and villains. They just seem to appear at incredibly convenient times, and the fact they know each other makes it all seem suspicious.
What are you buying? Just something an old friend of mine used to say.
Film D, aka Rising Rookie, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 2. This is an oldie but a goodie, and Wesker would certainly agree with that sentiment. After all, he's the one in possession of this. In the original RE2, you'll have to search Wesker's desk 50 times to obtain a photo of Rebecca in her basketball uniform. As for the remake, all you have to do is develop the film Hiding Place in order to retrieve a box from Wesker's desk drawer. At first, it's really just a box, but check the drawer again for the photo. So, it appears our edgelord has some splaining to do. A sequel tease? Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Before we cap off the list with our last entry, let's revisit RE3 for one more sneaky reference. Most hardcore RE fans have probably spotted it already, but it's pretty easy to overlook. One modest-looking movie theater advertises a film supposedly called Biohazard 4. This is actually an advertisement in tease for Resident Evil 4, Biohazard being the franchise's name in Japan. Indeed, RE4 was in development when RE3 launched, but the build that was being worked on at this time would become Devil May Cry. RE4 wouldn't launch until 2005, 6 years after this tease was made public.
Well, I really don't give a damn. Rain or shine, you're going down.
A letter from Shinji Mikami, Resident Evil. We had to save the best for last, and it's probably the one secret that's the most difficult to witness. It's no easy task to reach this, as you'll have to beat the game under invisible mode, which makes every enemy in the game, well, invisible. Do this and you'll unlock a heartfelt letter from series creator Shinji Mikami, thanking you for playing the game and congratulating you on your efforts. It's a message that says more than just thanks for playing, and you can really hear the gratitude in his words.
Therefore, on behalf of the entire staff, please allow me to express our gratitude and congratulate you on a job well done. Thank you very much for playing. Shinji Mikami, Dev Team Representative.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.